Picture this. It's Friday evening. You've had one hell of a week, extremely busy, you're exhausted physically and mentally. You get in bed or you chill on your couch, put on your favorite show, you relax, you're in your pajamas, and you think, let me just check through my social media, see what's going on. And the minute you open social media and you look at people's stories or messages that you've received, they're out, there's music, there's partying, there is people being glammed up and having the time of their lives. And suddenly your little haven that you created in your living room or bedroom, and that relaxed zen moment that you wanted to have, is gone because FOMO has kicked in. And FOMO is an acronym for fear of missing out. Now, as much as FOMO itself is a new term, this fear or the feeling of missing out goes back centuries, back to caveman days. Because the whole notion of FOMO stems from being fearful of being left out from your social group. And back in caveman days, if you weren't part of a social group, then you were left to die. Like your life literally depended on being included. So whether it meant you had to hunt for yourself or fend off the lions and tigers and the saber-tooth, whatever that was, if you were by yourself, you weren't going to last. There was safety in numbers. So that's why this fear was instilled in us to keep us safe and to keep us alive. But in today's day and age, we understand and know that if we're not out with our friends, our survival doesn't depend on it. We're not going to die. However, that fear and that feeling of uneasiness and that fear of missing out on whatever everybody else is doing is still there. If you haven't been to my page before, I'm Hamasa. On this channel, I look at personal development as well as mental and emotional well-being and just day-to-day issues. Please subscribe to my page. Please press the bell button so that you're notified every time I post something new. And if you're returning follow-up, welcome back to my page. Good to see you guys. Unfortunately, the term FOMO refers to our generation more so than ever before. This is because, obviously, of the rise of social media. Social media, as I've repeatedly mentioned in my previous videos, and is something that's so important for me to emphasize to you guys, that it's just a show reel, a 30-second or 2-second snapshot of someone's day. The important thing here to remember is that everybody only posts their best bits. It's very rare for you to come across to see authentic dinner settings, clothes, or whatever. Like, you see little snippets of some realness just so it portrays realness, but most people always predominantly post their wins and just the good things. So the holidays they're going, things they're eating, what they're wearing, people they're hanging out with, places they visit. All these things are always looking fabulous and glossy on social media. And since that's in our hands 24/7 on our phones, there is no escaping this feeling. From being a 19-year-old CEO to someone leaving everything behind and moving to Bali and living the life they want on a beach, to buying the flashiest car or redecorating their homes or carrying the latest handbags, all these things are shoved down our throats on multiple platforms, all in our hands on our smartphones. So even if we're very fulfilled in what we're doing, even if we try to keep up with this lifestyle and this facade, even if we try to go to these places and try and buy these things, that feeling of gratification is there for about 5 minutes. Then once you have what you wanted, or you're eating at the restaurant that you've seen your favorite person eat at, or you are bought the shoes that you dreamt of having, the satisfaction of that only lasts 5 minutes. Then after that, you're fearful of missing the next thing. So you're constantly feeling like you are playing catch up to feel enough. And it's these external factors that are making us feel this way. So that's why even if we try to catch up with these places and we're out and about and we're in these social circles and we're hanging out with the best people and wearing the nicest clothes, suddenly that thing that we've been putting off, that work project or meeting or something that could get us closer to our goals that we've been putting off to try and live in this facade, then that guilt hits us. So even though we're out with our friends and we're having a good time, we're not really having a good time because we're not present. We're now feeling disconnected and we're not really achieving what we're supposed to be achieving because we're too busy trying to fulfill our FOMO. So it's a vicious cycle. You look on social media, you want to do these things, you go and do these things, but you don't feel fulfilled because it's just the facade and you're always wanting the next thing, and you're realizing that it's making you feel disconnected and you feel anxious and you feel depressed because you're not in with the it crowd. But when you are, you know that you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing, and so on and so on. And it can physically create barriers and sicknesses and can affect you. So scientists have discovered that having extreme FOMO has the same effect on your brain as having physical pain. So if you're constantly putting yourself through that and feeling that you're not enough and you're feeling unfulfilled by these exterior factors, then it's an alarm sign. It's a wake-up call for us to understand and realize what we're so fearful of. Because by this stage, we've established that it's not our survival that depends on this. So why is it that we feel that if we're not around doing all the cool things, that we're not happy or we're not content with what's going on in our present moment? Why do we feel so disconnected? And the answer for that is to look inwardly, because these are exterior factors that are affecting your mood and emotions. And you need to really look inside and see why these exterior factors have such an effect on what you're feeling inside. And the answer lies in you looking within. And by doing that is by meditating, by journaling, to really look inside and see where you are feeling so unfulfilled that you're constantly relying on some exterior factor to keep you feel happy and present. The bad news is that the fear of missing out, of FOMO, will never truly go away, because it's a human instinct. It's something that our ancestors needed to survive, and so it's deep within us, it's rooted inside. But the good thing in this is that you can definitely figure out ways of how to manage it by keeping yourself fulfilled and doing things that are making you happy and making you feel that you're in the present moment. So find hobbies of yourself. Like I said, take the time to reflect and meditate and really spend some time and appreciate the little things, and understand that your happiness and satisfaction doesn't come by carrying the latest handbag or wearing the nicest trainers. That's just happiness temporarily, and then once that settles, there's always something else that you're looking for. Because the sooner you realize that it's not material or physical things that will make you really feel fulfilled, the sooner you understand, and you will stop chasing that satisfaction. You'll understand that really figuring out yourself, really understanding your likes and dislikes, your hobbies, things that will keep you busy. Let's say you find that you really enjoy doing something, and then you go out there and take a course or attend classes or do something or start practicing it, and you feel really present and fulfilled. You won't have time to have FOMO over what other people are doing, because it doesn't concern you. You're happy and satisfied with what you're getting. And to be honest, that's how I feel about going out now, because when I look at my friends being out and about, I don't feel like I should be there. I'm happy at where I am because I figured out things that make me feel good in my own environment. And it doesn't mean that just because someone's there and they're having the best time, that I will also have the same experience as them. Every person's different. There's a time and place for everything. And you need to really listen and understand your mind and body, that sometimes not being out and about isn't necessarily fulfilling. Sometimes taking that time out and taking that break and resting is what you really need. And just understanding that what people post on social media and what's going on around us, and this feeling of FOMO, you're not alone. Everybody's feeling that. We do have so many platforms that people have to really show off their amazing lives. It's not always amazing. Social media is very, very deceiving. A lot of people earn their living from it, and so they're obliged to post. a certain lifestyle to attract a certain kind of clientele and audience. So social media is not just the social side of it, there's a whole business side of it too. And so if you're not in the industry, you don't really understand or just know much about it. And so you think these people are always dressed up, going to all of these nice places because that's just how they live, when in reality it's part of their jobs. And they don't not always want to be there, they don't always enjoy the company of those people, they don't always want to feel up for being social or human people and entertain people, but it's just what's, you know, you just don't know other people's stories behind the camera. That's why it's not something that you should live your life by. It's not something that you should compare yourself to. Just find what works for you, what makes you feel fulfilled, and stay present. And that fear of FOMO will just be like a little whisper in the back of your head in comparison to this constant anxious feeling. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I feel that it's very relevant, and I feel like now that things are opening up here and there in some places, and in other places we're still in quite a strict lockdown, you know, people who are going out and about are making sure that they're posting that and enjoying it, but it doesn't mean that it's all rosy, and the grass does always seem greener on the other side. So just remember that the grass is actually always greener where you water it. Please subscribe to my page, please like and comment on this video, please share your experiences of FOMO and how you overcome them, and I will see you again here next week. Thank you so much for watching.